Hello and welcome to Let's Play Appointment with Fear by Steve Jackson. A thrilling adventure in which you are the hero. This is book number 17 in the Fighting Fantasy series. I'm having to read the front and back covers on Microsoft Windows Photo Viewer because for some reason my PDF doesn't include the front or back covers, and I had to download them separately from Demian's Gamebook webpage. So that's that. I must say, I do like Windows 11 on my new laptop here. It's a pretty decent operating system. I've never owned a laptop that had Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 or even Windows 10. I've used Windows 8 and I hated it. I've used Windows 10 and it's all right, but I must say Windows 10 is quite a good operating system. Although I'm not entirely keen on the curved windows. The corners are curved on some of them, and I can't seem to find a way to remove that. But that's a small complaint, really. So this is only the second video that I've made, or am making, whatever, because at the time I am making it on my new laptop. The first one was yesterday's channel update. Now I think my voice was a bit too quiet on my channel update videos, so I have increased the volume of my microphone, and I've tested it out, so hopefully it's a bit louder so you can hear my voice. Although admittedly in this video there's no background music like there was in Land of Illusion yesterday, but we'll see. I'll continue to improve it if it's not as good. Anyway, so yeah, that's the front cover. Here's the back cover. Part story, part game. This is a book in which you become the hero. Tough, courageous, incorruptible champion of law and order, you are the Silver Crusader, using your superpowers to protect the innocent citizens of teeming Titan City from the terrorism, violence, kidnapping, and corruption of a host of supervillains. Your mission is to discover the location of the top-secret F.E.A.R meeting, capture the titanium cyborg and his cohorts, and bring them to justice. 2 dice, a pencil, and an eraser are all you need. You have a choice of 4 superpowers: Psi Powers, super strength, enhanced technological skills, or energy blasts, and the power you choose will affect the course of your mission. There are hero points to be won and lost, clues to follow, dangers to face, and horrific villains to fight. Fighting fantasy books, a worldwide sensation. Cover illustration by Brian Bolland, whatever. I must say, I should get the front and back covers from Demian's Gamebook webpage in future because they're easy to read when they're on the PDF, but for some reason this PDF doesn't have them. Anyway, so we've read that, that's done. Okay, so here's the first page that's on the PDF here. Okay, Puffin Books, Appointment with Fear. Tough, courageous, incorruptible champion of law and order, you are the Silver Crusader, using your superpowers to protect the innocent citizens of teeming Titan City from the evil machinations of a host of supervillains. Arch-villain of them all is the Titanium Cyborg, head of the notorious F.E.A.R organization. Terrorism, violence, kidnapping, and corruption. Nothing is too evil for F.E.A.R. So when news leaks out of a secret meeting of F.E.A.R heads here in Titan City, your mission is clear. To discover the location of the meeting, capture the Titanium Cyborg and his cohort, and bring them to justice. There are 4 superpowers from which to choose, clues to find, hero points to gain or lose, and new twists to the fighting fantasy combat system as Steve Jackson's amazing new game book throws you up against the most challenging, most dangerous adventure of them all. All you need is 2 dice, a pencil, and an eraser. Many dangers lie ahead, and even with your superpowers, your success is by no means certain. Steve Jackson is the co-founder with Ian Livingstone of the hugely successful Games Workshop chain. Yeah, I do like how Steve Jackson tries to experiment with different types of books, whereas Ian Livingstone just makes his really difficult. So Steve Jackson, in my opinion, is the better of the two. Anyway, Steve Jackson, Appointment with Fear. Yeah, here's all the books. So we're on number 17 now, Appointment with Fear. And we still have Rebel Planet, Demons of the Deep, and Sword of the Samurai to do. We've done Trial of Champions, and then so on and so forth. Anyway, my favourite remains Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and my second favourite will remain Portal of Evil. That is a great book. If you want to have a look at my YouTube page, which I recovered now, and thankfully the spam bot didn't delete all my videos. Yeah, have a look, and all the videos of Warlock of Firetop Mountain and Portal of Evil are on there. I might redo Warlock of Firetop Mountain because I'm not overly happy with my original videos. I was still in the sort of the beta stage of doing these game books, if you like. Anyway, Steve Jackson, Appointment with Fear, illustrated by Declan Considine, Puffin Books. Dedicated to BJ, a superhero in his own way. First published 1985. Brilliant. Okay. Okay, there's the contents, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how to battle the supervillains of Titan City. In Appointment with Fear, you will become the Silver Crusader, a superhero with unusual powers dedicated to saving the citizens of Titan City from crime. You will come across robberies, kidnappings, and destruction, crimes committed by a host of supervillains. You must also find out where the fateful meeting between the heads of F.E.A.R, the Federation of Euro-American Rebels, is due to take place and capture Vladimir Utoshki, otherwise known as the Titanium Cyborg, F.E.A.R's leader. You do not have only your superpowers to aid you. Through your crime watch, your friend and informant Jerry the Grass will alert you to crimes even before they are committed, and you can keep in touch with the police. And as you fight and overcome villains of the underworld, you will discover clues. Some clues will enable you to locate arch criminals and arrest them. Others will give you information on the whereabouts of the secret F.E.A.R meeting. You begin the adventure with a choice of 4 superpowers. With super strength, you are powerful and have the ability to fly. Psi Powers enables you to read minds and influence objects by brain power alone. ETS, Enhanced Technological Skill, provides you with a variety of devices and gadgets which you carry around in your accessory belt. If you choose Energy Blast, you can summon up a bolt of energy and project it from your fingertips. Depending on which power you choose, the solution to the book, finding the location of the F.E.A.R meeting, will be different. Once you have solved it with one power, you can try it again with another. I'm only going to be doing it with one power because I can't be bothered to do this book 4 times. So if you want to do this, if you want to have a go at the other powers, have a go at the book yourself, okay? I'm not doing this book 4 times. I'm just going to do it once, okay? Because I have lots of other books to get through, so on and so forth. Anyway, and you may also monitor your success with your hero point score. When you overcome supervillains, you will be awarded hero points to allow you to compare the success of one adventure with another. Because of these new features, the rules to Appointment with Fear differs a little from other fighting fantasy game books. Combat is basically the same, but you will find several new sections in the following rules. Before setting off to fight the supervillains of Titan City, you must first determine your own skill, stamina, and luck scores by rolling dice as described below. On pages 22 to 3, there is an adventure sheet on which you may use to record the details of your adventure. You are advised either to make records on the adventure sheet in pencil or to take photocopies of the page to use in future adventures. Skill, stamina, and luck. Roll 1 die. Add 6 to this number and enter the total in the skill box on the adventure sheet. The exception to this is if you have super strength, in which case you will start with an automatic skill score of 13. I'm going to be choosing super strength, so therefore I'm going to have an automatic skill of 13. That's good, isn't it? Okay, here's the adventure sheet. Now I still have the adventure sheet that the text document that I used in Seas of Blood or whatever it was. So just have to alter this one a bit. Okay, and save. There we go. Where am I? Okay, there's that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Roll 2 dice, add 12 to the number rolled, and enter the total in the stamina box. Now, guess what? I'm going to use the old dice program. Yes, I found the old dice program by the Romanian or Russian bloke, whoever he is. I don't know. But I managed to find it again and install it, quote unquote. It's just an exe. So I just put it on my new laptop, so here we go. No, no, nope, 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 nope. There we go. Okay, I was looking for 10 or more, so that's good. I got 12. That's lucky, wasn't it? Blimey. I think I might go and play the lottery. I'm in a very lucky mood today. Okay, so what's the deal? We have to add 12 to the number rolled. Okay, so we get a 24 for stamina. That's lucky, as I said. Okay, there is also a luck box. Roll one die and add 6 to the number rolled. Enter this total in the luck box. So we're rolling one die. Okay, that gives us 11. That was a good score. There's no buzzing anymore, which is interesting. Maybe it's because this laptop's better. Okay, okay, it gives us 11 luck. Okay, what else is there? For reasons that will be explained below, and I will put in the video description when the actual game starts, so that if you want to skip all this you can, but I shall read it all out. Okay, for reasons that will be explained below, skill, stamina, and luck scores change constantly during an adventure. You must keep an accurate record of these scores, and for this reason you are advised either to write small in the boxes or to keep an eraser handy. But never rub out your initial scores, although you may be awarded additional skill, stamina, and luck points, these totals may never exceed your initial scores. Your skill score reflects both fighting and problem-solving skills. The higher your skill score, the better. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination, and overall fitness. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. Your luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. I think my real life luck score will probably be -3. Anyway, just generally low. Anyway, battles. You will often come across pages in the book which instruct you to fight a villain of some sort. If so, you must resolve the combat as described below. First, record the villain's skill and stamina scores in the first vacant villain encounter box on your adventure sheet. The scores for each villain are given in the book each time you have an encounter. Unlike other fighting fantasy game books, you may not kill the criminals you are fighting. As a sworn upholder of justice, you may not take the life of a supervillain, no matter how evil he or she may be. But they will be attempting to kill you. If you manage to reduce the stamina score of a criminal to 0, you have killed him and must lose 1 hero point as a result. When a criminal has been reduced to 1 or 2 stamina points, he will surrender himself to you. Or herself. The sequence of combat is then: roll 2 dice, once for the criminal. Add his skill score. This total is the criminal's attack strength. Roll 2 dice once for yourself. Add your own current skill score. This total is your attack strength. If your attack strength is higher than his, you have landed a blow. Proceed to step 4. If the criminal's attack strength is higher than yours, he has landed a blow on you. Proceed to step 5. If both attack strengths are equal, you have avoided each other's blows. Start the next attack round from step 1 above. You have landed a blow on the criminal, so subtract 2 points from his stamina score. You may use your luck here to do additional damage. See over. The criminal has landed a blow on you, so subtract 2 points from your stamina score. Again, you may use luck at this stage. See over. Make the appropriate adjustments to either the criminal's or your own stamina scores and to your luck score if you use luck. Begin the next attack round. Repeat steps 1 to 6. This sequence continues until the stamina score of the criminal has been reduced to 2 or less, or your own 2 or fewer, he means, because it's a discrete variable, or your own stamina has been reduced to 0. A criminal with a stamina of 2 or 1 is semi-conscious and will give himself up. A stamina score of 0 for you or the criminal is equivalent to death. If you kill a criminal, you must lose 1 hero point, so be careful about this and use your luck when appropriate. Luck. At various times during your adventure, either in battles or when you come across situations in which you could either be lucky or unlucky, details of these are given on the pages themselves. You may call on your luck to make the outcome more favourable, but beware, using luck is a risky business, and if you are unlucky, the results could be disastrous. The procedure for using your luck is as follows. Roll 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your current luck score, you have been lucky and the result will go in your favour. If the number rolled is higher than your current luck score, you have been unlucky and will be penalised. This procedure is known as testing your luck. Each time you test your luck, you must subtract 1 point from your current luck score. Thus, you will soon realise that the more you rely on your luck, the more risky this will become. Using luck in battles. On certain pages of the book, you'll be told to test your luck and will be told the consequences of being lucky or unlucky. However, in battles, you always have the option of using your luck either to inflict a more serious blow on the criminal you have just hit, or to minimise the effects of a blow the criminal has just inflicted on you. If you have just landed a blow on the criminal, you may test your luck as described above. If you are lucky, you have landed a severe blow and may subtract an extra 2 points from the criminal's stamina score. If you are unlucky, however, the blow glanced off and you must restore 1 point to the criminal's stamina, i.e. instead of inflicting 2 points of damage, you have inflicted only 1. If the criminal has just hit you, you may test your luck to try to minimise the effects. If you are lucky, you have managed to avoid the full force of the blow, restore 1 point of stamina, i.e. instead of taking 2 points of damage, you take only 1. If you are unlucky, you have taken a more serious blow and must subtract 1 extra stamina point from your score. Remember that each time you test your luck, you must subtract 1 point from your own luck score. Restoring a skill, stamina and luck. Instructions for restoring your skill, stamina and luck scores will be given in the pages of the book as appropriate. Stamina will be restored when you rest at home in the evening. Stamina bonuses are difficult to come by, so be careful. Luck points will be gained when you find some clues. Hero points. As you defeat supervillains and solve crimes, you will be awarded hero points to be recorded on your adventure sheet. Hero points have nothing to do with your main objective, which is to locate the secret F.E.A.R meeting and capture Vladimir Utoshki, the titanium cyborg. Hero points are a measure of how successful you have been in your adventure. Each time you go through the book, record your hero points score and compare each adventure with previous ones. As you will find, if you try a different superpower, the solution to the book will be different, so you can rate your own performances with each of the 4 powers. Clues. Whichever superpower you begin the game, you will have knowledge of 2 clues which will help you trace and capture Titan City's criminals. Indeed, you will not be able to find some of the villains without knowledge of the appropriate clues. In fact, there are 2 types of clues. Some relate to the villains and their crimes, the ones with which you start are of this type. Others relate to the secret F.E.A.R meeting. Without finding the necessary clues to the meeting, you will never be able to prevent it, with disastrous results for Titan City. So bear in mind that you must find these F.E.A.R clues, and remember also that when you try the adventure using a different superpower, the F.E.A.R clues that you need will be held by different villains. Superpowers and clues. You are Jean Lafayette, the product of a dangerous but successful genetic experiment. Although seemingly normal as a child, it became apparent in your early teens that you are a far from ordinary human being. You are gifted with a superhuman power which you have sworn to use only for the benefit of your fellow man. As the Silver Crusader, you are well known to the population of Titan City. Most people admire you. Some distrust you, but all members of the underworld fear you. Only your parents, who are both dead, ever knew your real identity and the origins of your powers. In the adventures ahead, you will begin with one of 4 powers. During your daily activities and encounters with disasters and supercriminals, you will have 2 objectives. First, you must learn the whereabouts of the secret meeting of F.E.A.R, the Federation of Euro-American Rebels, which is due to take place within the next few days. This dangerous alliance of master criminals and enemy agents is planning to overthrow the governments of the Western world and establish their own rule. Secondly, you may assess your own performance as a superhero by trying to gain as many hero points as possible. Before you start each adventure, you may choose which superpower to start from the 4 powers listed below. You will also start the game with knowledge of 2 clues. Following the description of each superpower, you will find instructions on where to find your clues, which are hidden in the text of the adventure. Before you turn to reference 1 to start your adventure, choose your superpower. Locate and read the clues and enter the information on your adventure sheet. Super strength. You have the strength of many men. The muscles of your immensely powerful legs and arms bulge through the fabric of your costume. They are developed to the point of perfection, and in combat situations you always fight with a skill of 13. You also have the power to fly through the air at any speed you wish. This allows you to hover unsupported above the ground or to chase and capture up with the fastest jet. To find the first of your clues, turn to reference 127. For your other clue, you may choose one from the following. I'll deal with that in a moment, I'll just read the other ones. Psi Powers. You have extraordinary mental abilities. You are able to reach into the thoughts of most other humans and some animals to read their minds and influence them. You also have limited powers to make objects move mentally and even to change the very nature of some elements. However, using this power is an enormous mental effort for you. Each time you use your Psi power, you must deduct 2 stamina points. Turn to 222 to discover your first clue. You may also choose one clue from the following. Enhanced Technological Skill, ETS. Your considerable intelligence has allowed you to develop a whole collection of high-tech gadgetry. Through advanced microcircuitry designs, you have been able to miniaturize most of these gadgets so that they will fit conveniently into a special accessory belt worn around your waist. Whatever the situation, you are usually fortunate enough to have something appropriate to use. However, you have avoided developing weaponry in case any weapon you develop should ever fall into the wrong hands and be used by the criminal element to wreak untold havoc. You start the adventure with 2 clues, which must be chosen from the following list. Okay, Energy Blast. You are able to summon up electrostatic energy from within your own body and channel it out through your fingertips. You can aim these energy bolts at adversaries or objects, and your control is such that you know before you aim how much force will be needed to deal with them. You have taken a personal oath that you will only stun any human target, no matter how villainous your opponent may be. When using Energy Blast, you need only determine whether or not your aim is true. If you hit a human opponent, the effect will be an automatic stun. Test your aim by rolling 2 dice. If the result is equal to or less than your skill score, the bolt is hit. If the result is higher than your skill, you have missed and a normal battle must be fought, or the situation must be resolved as per the instructions in the text. Sometimes you'll not be able to use a second bolt. Each time you use Energy Blast, you must deduct 2 stamina points. Your first clue will be found at reference 88. For your second clue, you may choose one of the following. Okay, so I'm going to choose Super Strength, and I'm going to turn to 127 to get my first clue. The Scarlet Prankster, a fun-loving criminal who delights in playing practical jokes on his unsuspecting victims, has found a new home and one most befitting his sense of humour. When you are in the vicinity of his new residence and are given the opportunity to look for him, subtract 50 from the reference you are on at the time and turn to this new reference to find him. Okay, so I'll just write that down in the thing. Let's get rid of that. Just need to clear this up a bit. Don't need the log. I'll change this to clues now. I'll have a separate thing that says clues, I think. So clues. When looking for the Scarlet, I better put a capital there. Scarlet Prankster. I put Scarlet without a C. Subtract 50 from the current reference. Another thing I did with my new laptop was I installed something called Flashpoint Infinity, which allows me to play all the old Flash games I liked when I used to play Flash games. There are 2 options. One, you can get the basic one. It's all free, by the way. You can get the basic one, or you can get the full version. With the full version, you pretty much download every Flash game they have. With the basic one, you just download the program, and then the program will download. Oh, sorry, not program. The app, because everything has to be called an app now. The program will download the Flash game that you want to play. When you just have to search for it in the program, and then you can get it. That was quite good, actually. I highly recommend it. I've been playing Kingdom Rush again. I did like that Flash game, and some other old favourites like Hexagon and Fishy. They were quite fun. and Divine Intervention. That was always quite funny. And he never made a sequel for it. He said at the end of Divine Intervention he'd make a sequel for it, and he never did. It's really annoying when people don't make a sequel when they say they were. Because I was always looking forward to that. I can also play some of my other old favourites. Radical Aces. It has games that aren't Flash games. It has Java games and other weird games like Tux on the Run. That was always quite funny. And Radical Aces, and of course Need for Madness 1 and 2, although I have Need for Madness, the standalone download on my Windows XP computer to play, but it's on there as well because it was a web game. It pretty much has all the web games, not necessarily Flash, but mainly Flash. Another really hard game I used to play called Gold Yard and Pharaoh's Tomb. They were difficult. I completed Gold Yard again, but Pharaoh's Tomb is really hard, and puzzle one called Chasm. Damn, that's hard. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so that was quite fun. I'm glad I got this laptop. Anyway, okay, so let's choose another clue. So where are we? Here, wasn't it? So we're choosing another clue. I'll just choose. I'll just choose 108. I think. Yeah, I'll choose 108. Okay, 108. Here we go. I had to get a new mouse because my old mouse broke finally. The one I had for 12 years finally gave up the ghost. The scroll wheel no longer worked, and I can't bear that, so I have a wireless mouse now. Actually, the wireless mouse I've had for a while, but I've only just started using it all the time. The only thing is it needs batteries. I have to replace the batteries every so often, which is, Oh well, I'm not buying a new one. Anyway, there is a new menace in town, as Daddy Rich's lawyers have just got him off a murder charge. He is an eccentric millionaire who has everything money could buy. He now gets his kicks by murdering innocent victims and revels in their fear. He has very expensive tastes and lives in a penthouse apartment at 113 58th Street. Okay, let's write that down. Yeah. Okay, so what's he called? Daddy's what? Daddy Rich's. Okay, Daddy Rich, 113 58th Street. Okay. Daddy Rich lives at 113 58th. Whoops, 58th Street. There we go. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now we can go back. Background. Okay. The time of your birth was an anxious moment for your parents and their doctors. Your mother had consented to undergo an experimental form of genetic surgery. The doctors had warned her of the dangers of the radiation experiments. Their research program was nowhere near complete, but this she already knew, for she herself was one of the researchers. The work had reached the stage where progress was impossible without testing it on a human subject. Your father had not fully understood the implications when he gave his consent, and 8 pairs of apprehensive eyes watched your arrival into the world. Their first reaction was one of relief. You certainly seemed a normal, healthy baby. Postnatal tests showed no physical deformities whatsoever. In fact, you appeared to be a fine specimen. In your younger years, your development was carefully monitored with a seemingly endless series of physiological and psychological tests, all of which you passed with flying colours. The doctors and researchers congratulated themselves. Their experiments were a complete success. However, the experiments had been conducted in a shroud of secrecy. Had the world known of the risks of the experiment, public outcry would have been overwhelming. It would certainly have put an end to further genetic research, and from your mother's point of view, she had no wish to have the world regard you as an experimental freak. Only a few knew what had really happened. Over the years, the testing stopped as the doctors felt more and more certain that there was no need to monitor your progress. As fate would have it, it was just when this testing stopped that it became clear that you were anything but a normal child. Your latent superhuman powers did not show themselves until after the doctors had lost interest. Your parents, who had become thoroughly fed up with the endless tests, decided that your extraordinary powers must remain a secret from the world. They had no wish to have you studied as some kind of freak for the rest of your life. You have a regular job working in an office of a medium-sized company, but when duty calls, you become the Silver Crusader, upholder of justice, and you have taken an oath to serve in the fight against crime in Titan City. Apart from your own super abilities, you have one other device to aid you, your Crime Watch. This neat little device, worn around your wrist, receives and broadcasts transmissions to and from your two most important allies. You can be contacted by police headquarters through this Crime Watch, and you can also summon the police to aid you. In addition, your friend and underworld contact, Jerry the Grass, is able to warn you of impending crimes through the Crime Watch. Jerry the Grass has recently become aware of an important meeting about to take place within the next few days. Vladimir Utoshki, leader of F.E.A.R, the Federation of Euro-American Rebels, has been summoning his aides in crime to meet in Titan City. Utoshki, also known as the Titanium Cyborg, is a supervillain whose field of expertise is the electronic enhancement of human abilities. He is part man, part machine, and very dangerous. Jerry the Grass has not yet found out where or when the meeting is due, but one thing is certain: its purpose is to finalize plans for a scheme which would mean disaster for the Western world. The meeting must be stopped. You must find out where and when this meeting is due to take place and prevent it at all costs. Now turn over. I just need to say that I have the super strength. I'll put that in information. I have super strength. Okay. It's just, I don't need that, do I? But I'll keep it anyway. Okay, let's remove some of these. Actually, do I have any of these at the bottom? Yeah, I have a few of them, so let's remove this. Let's get rid of that bit. There we go. Make a few more of these. There we go. Okay, that'll do. Okay. Okay, now turn over. Let's go. Right, half an hour. We finally start. Gonna end the video soon. Okay, paragraph 1. As you walk the 10 blocks to work that morning, you can't help but feel that something is not quite right. You stop by a telephone booth to consider what it could be. The sounds of the city are the usual 8 a.m. cacophony. Cars and buses bounce past along Clark Street. Very clever. Their drivers too sleepy even to try to avoid the pits and bumps in the road. A newspaper vendor bawls an incomprehensible headline, something about a robbery, at the crowds of men and women milling past him on their ways to work. Overhead in the sky, the rhythmic beating of a traffic copter's blades fades into the distance. An argument is taking place between an elderly businessman and an overlarge woman with an untrained dog, whose sidewalk deposits have offended the businessman. There is nothing unusual, or is there? Now, the difference is only barely perceptible, but there is a distinct air of tension in the streets. There are nervous twitches in the eyes of the passers-by. The cars are accelerating and braking in a jittery manner. Little things like that. To your heightened senses, the atmosphere is pregnant. Today will not be just another day. Your thoughts are broken by the high-pitched wailing of a police siren. A yellow and black Cougar GS screeches round the corner and leaps ahead through the Clark Street traffic before swinging left into Audubon Park. Behind it, the traffic settles back into its regular flow. Your attention drifts back to the argument. A small crowd has built up around the man and woman. Raised voices are taking one side or the other, and the situation is beginning to look nasty. What will you do next? Let's have a look at the picture first. There we go. Go over and see if you can break up the argument, turn to 263. Run after the police car into Audubon Park, turn to 289. Buy a newspaper to find out about the robbery, turn to 228. Or ignore these incidents and go to work, turn to 341. So, is that it? Yeah. Okay, we are going to buy a newspaper to find out about the robbery, turn to 228. Okay, you study the newspaper. Under the headline Alchemists in Cleveland, the story describes how the notorious gang of chemical experts entered a branch of the Cleveland Bank on 113th Street at 4 a.m., bypassed the alarm, locked the security guard in the vault on a time switch, and made off with a number of safe deposit boxes. Although it was impossible to tell how much was taken in the raid, claims from the owners of the deposit boxes are now coming in. Apart from the cash, many valuable papers had been stolen. Do you want to investigate the robbery as the Silver Crusader, 10 to 112, or will you see what else is in the paper, 10 to 386? I like that. That's like Batman, the original Batman from the 60s. Okay, we're going to see what else is in the paper. Turn to 386. In the personal column of the newspaper, you find an interesting snippet which reads, Richard Storm, all is forgiven. How was I to know she was a private nurse? Phone me on 555-9999. Love, Susan. A private nurse? What is this all about? If you now want to proceed to the bank as the Silver Crusader, turn to 112. If you want to go to work, turn to 341. We're going to add the clue, which is Susan has the phone number 555-9999. So let's do that now. Susan's telephone number is 555-9999. Okay, and I'm afraid that's all we have time for. So in the next video, we will decide what we're going to do. Are we going to proceed to the bank as the Silver Crusader or go to work? It's as exciting as that. Okay, so next paragraph. Well, we're on. I don't know what we're on actually. What are we on? Yeah, we're on paragraph 386. So that's that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video turns out okay on my new computer. Thanks again and goodbye.